Whoa, massive beasts. One river, a 1.5-ton tank stares down an ancient armored assassin. This is the ultimate African server turf war. You'd think the apex predator with a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth would absolutely dominate this matchup, but the river meta is wild. Today we're breaking down exactly what happens when the Crocodile's high-damage stealth build collides with the Hippopotamus's pure berserker rage. Let's look at the Crocodile first. This reptilian player hasn't updated its skill tree since the dinosaur expansion pack, because it doesn't need to. That timeless perfection comes from its maxed out stealth stat. By lowering its heart rate, it can camp underwater for over an hour. Remaining completely invisible, it waits patiently until a thirsty low-level player gets too close to the water's edge, triggering its ambush ability. When it strikes, it locks on with a bite force of over 3,000 pounds per square inch, trapping the target in an inescapable grip. However, this devastating combo drains its energy bar instantly. The Crocodile suffers from a terrible stamina recovery rate in the current meta. To recharge its thermal battery, it is forced to enter sunbathing mode, remaining totally immobilized on the shore for hours, leaving it vulnerable to our second player, the Hippopotamus. Do not let the herbivore tag fool you. This is a pure heavy tank. Weighing up to 3,000 pounds, the Hippo puts all of its evolution points directly into the HP and defense stats. Its armor consists of a 2-inch thick skin layer that acts like a bulletproof vest, rendering most standard bite attacks completely useless. But a tank still needs weapons. The Hippo equips massive ivory tusks that function less like teeth and more like armor-piercing daggers. While the Crocodile grips and tears, the Hippo's jaw can open 150 degrees to physically crush a boat in half. You might think a build this heavy would suffer a huge penalty to its movement speed. You would be dangerously wrong. On land, this armored bulldozer can charge at speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour, easily outrunning a human player. Even in the water, it doesn't swim. It sinks to the bottom and simply gallops along the riverbed like a true freight train. But the Hippo's immense stats come with a fatal flaw: dehydration. Without water, its thick skin will literally crack under the sun. To survive this, it secretes a natural red-colored biological sunscreen, but it still must return to the river constantly to avoid massive HP loss. This dependency on the river creates an interesting dynamic. The Hippo only leaves at night to loot the grasslands for vegetation. Meanwhile, the Crocodile requires very little food to survive, preferring to wait patiently at the shoreline for the perfect meat drop. Because they share the exact same biome, these two heavyweight builds are constantly forced to share space in shrinking water holes. You might assume they ignore each other, but the Hippo possesses the highest aggression stat of any herbivore in the game. They are highly territorial and will actively target, attack, and kill anything that enters their personal bubble, completely unprovoked. So, what happens when the Crocodile gets too close? The Croc immediately realizes it has a massive weight class disadvantage. The Hippo initiates combat with an AoE intimidation roar, opening its massive jaws to show off those lethal ivory daggers. Most of the time, the Crocodile will choose to retreat. Its stealth attacks are useless against a target with this much armor. But if a Croc targets a baby Hippo, the mother's berserker rage activates, and the river turns into an absolute war zone. The Crocodile might try to bite, but its teeth simply cannot penetrate deep enough through the Hippo's blubber and thick hide. In retaliation, the Hippo uses its overwhelming weight to physically crush the Crocodile against the riverbed, or bite it clean in half. Even when crocodiles try to group up to raid a Hippo, the sheer size and AoE damage of the tank scatters them easily. How do they fare against other builds? A pack of lions might occasionally take down a crocodile caught on land without stamina. But if lions try to gank a full-grown Hippo, it usually ends with the lions getting severely injured or running for their lives. Even human players equipped with boats face the wrath of the Hippo. It is responsible for the most game overs in the African biome. The Crocodile might not win the 1 versus 1 matchup, but its low energy consumption means it survives droughts, that easily wipe out hippos. Ultimately, they play different roles. The croc is the ultimate assassin, punishing any player who carelessly approaches the water. But the hippo, it doesn't need stealth. It walks through the river like it owns the server because, honestly, it does. In the tier list of African wildlife, the crocodile is a solid A-tier predator, but the hippo is an undisputed S-tier juggernaut. Which build would you choose to play? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more wildlife meta breakdowns.